In July 1518, a woman stepped into a street in Strasbourg and started dancing. Nobody asked her to. Nobody was playing music. She just started. Her name was Frau Troffea, and she could not stop. She danced all day until she collapsed from exhaustion. Then she got up the next morning and started again. Her feet were swollen and bleeding. She kept dancing. Her husband begged her to stop. She kept dancing. By the end of the week, 30 of her neighbors had joined her. By August, the number had reached 400. To understand how this was possible, you need to understand what Strasbourg had been living through in the years before 1518. Famine. Repeated crop failures had driven grain prices to their highest levels in a generation. Syphilis had arrived in Europe for the first time. Leprosy and plague were killing people in the streets. Floods, extreme heat, social unrest. Even by the brutal standards of medieval life, these were extraordinarily desperate years. The people of Strasbourg were terrified, exhausted, and deeply religious. And in their religious world, there was a specific explanation for what was happening to them. Saint Vitus, a Catholic saint believed to have the power to curse sinners by compelling them to dance uncontrollably. When Frau Troffea started dancing in the street, the people of Strasbourg didn't see a medical emergency. They saw divine punishment. And once that idea took hold, it spread faster than any disease. The city authorities panicked. They called in physicians. The physicians examined the dancers and concluded the cause was overheated blood. Their prescription was not to stop the dancing, it was to dance more. Their logic, sweat out the fever. So the city council cleared guild halls and opened them to the dancers. They hired professional musicians to play day and night. They brought in strong men to keep the exhausted dancers upright when they began to fall. It made everything worse. Healthy bystanders watched the dancers, began contemplating their own sins, and joined in. The music attracted more people. The public spectacle spread the hysteria further. Accounts from the time claim that for a period, people were dying every single day from exhaustion, heart attacks, and stroke. The city of Strasbourg's own records don't confirm exact numbers, but the chronicles agree the situation was desperate enough that the council was forced to completely reverse their approach. They banned music. They banned dancing in the streets. They shut down the guild halls. Then they tried something else entirely. The remaining dancers were given red shoes, sprinkled with holy water, with crosses painted on the soles. They were handed small crosses to hold. Priests performed Latin incantations over them, and they were sent on a pilgrimage to the mountain shrine of Saint Vitus to beg forgiveness for whatever sin had brought the curse upon them. It worked. By September 1518, the dancing had stopped. Whether it stopped because the pilgrimage provided psychological relief, or because the removal of the musicians eliminated the social trigger, or simply because the extreme summer heat finally broke, nobody knows for certain. What caused the dancing plague of 1518 is still debated today. Some historians point to ergot, a toxic fungus that grows on rye bread in hot, damp conditions, which can cause convulsions and hallucinations. But there are no reports of the blackened limbs that typically accompany ergot poisoning. The most widely accepted explanation is mass psychogenic illness, a community pushed to the absolute breaking point by famine, disease, and fear, collectively breaking down in a way that expressed itself through the one framework they all understood: divine punishment, the curse of Saint Vitus, compulsive, unstoppable dance. The human mind, under enough pressure, does not always break quietly. Frau Troffea started dancing on July 14, 1518. 400 people followed her, and to this day, not a single historian can tell you with certainty why. Some things happen in history that defy every explanation we have, and sometimes the most terrifying thing a story can end with is not an answer, but a shrug.